up and get it. Lace up, face up, I'm here to win it. It's for my city, and the team coming with me. Headed for the championship, even if the road is long. Legends pave the way for us, since nothing in this world can take it from us. Don't underestimate our generation when you see us coming for ya. And when you knock me down, I'm getting back up. Cause when I step on the floor, you know your time's up. I'm on my way. Detroit basketball.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the King and Deuce Show. I am joined by my co-host, King. What is the word, my brother?
What's good? What's good, man? Let's talk some Pistons basketball. Got a lot of great stories coming for you fans. That's in the comments today. First and foremost, we want to say what's up to everybody that's here early, from sir. Assassin to Sean to Daniel. We see all of you guys. We appreciate you guys for waiting patiently.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we hope everybody is having a great Wednesday night so far. If you are not, you are in the right place to make that better, because tonight we have a special guest for y'all. We are joined by player development coach and consultant for a handful of different NBA players, including Orlando Magic's Anthony Black and our very own Detroit Pistons Ron Holland, Mr. Charles Hill. So Charles, we appreciate you taking some time with us to chop it up, bro. Welcome to the show, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all asking me to come on, man.
Hey, absolutely, man. We're going to get into a lot of different things tonight. Going to have a real good discourse. King, you ready to get into it, bro?
Definitely ready to get into it, man. One of the main themes that goes with our show is we want to get down to the roots of every player on our beloved Detroit Pistons, man. There's a lot of work, and there's a lot of family, and there's a lot of training. There's a lot of influence that goes into every player you see on our team, and we like to dig and try to find that thing. Majority of the fan base that will be watching this is Pistons fans. You'd be hard-pressed to find one that's not a Ron Holland fan right now, simply because of the flavor that he brings, man. Just speak to the relationship that you have with Ron and, possibly the family. Where did all of this begin for you guys?
Ron was a sophomore in high school, and I was a young, hungry coach, I guess. And pretty much I got on to do like player development at Duncanville High School, where Ron was at high school. And he was one of those kids that was a project. Like, I'm not saying that he was a terrible player, but he was just one of that. He was raw, rough around the edges, and me and him kind of just locked in the gym, and off the court, me and his family we started bonding. We started having like barbecues, stuff like that. We just did with the team, and me and his dad clicked, his mom clicked, and from then, that sophomore year turned into a sophomore summer, turned into a junior year, turned into a junior summer. And it was pretty much, we want you to be like his go-to guy, to be his trainer, like his everyday trainer. And we was just building a relationship off the court, but always going back to the court, if that made sense. So if we had bad practice, bad games, good games, it'd be a 2-hour phone call after practice or a 2-hour phone call after the game. We would just run everything back and figure out why stuff went good or why stuff went bad. And sometimes, or it was just him just getting those frustrations out on the phone. And I was like, all right, well, see you tomorrow at practice. It was just built like that, and it just kept growing. You know what I mean? So we just kept it as he grew to the player that he is today, and that our relationship still grows to today.
Absolutely, man. I love how you always talk about just not just on the court, but also off the court, just having that personal bond with him, with his family as well. I think that's something that kind of gets missed a lot when you think about player development. And I think that's really dope that you guys had that bond. I'm sure that carries over to off the court. So let's talk about you yourself, though, as far as like your history, as far as how you got into being into player development. Like, what pushed you in that direction of becoming a developmental coach? And kind of just we talked about a little bit what that really entails for you.
Well, it started with me just wanting to honestly just give back to my high school, because I played from Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I played at TCU, which is 15, 20 minutes from my high school. And I would just go back in between practices or days off or whatever, and just train some of those kids. And that kind of pushed me into the realm of coaching. And then coaching, it was just second nature for me to be able to teach the game too.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. If y'all take a look in the background, y'all see we have a special guest with us here. Courtesy of Charles, he brought Ron Holland himself onto the stream. Ron, what's going on, my dog? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. How you?
Hey, we doing great, man. Appreciate your time coming on and chopping up with us for a quick second. Can you got anything you wanna throw out there, bro?
First and foremost, I'm probably sure you've heard it by now, but you know, the city loves you, Ron.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? Your persona, what you bring to the table on the court, it represents everything that we about. You know, me and Deuce, we're avid basketball fans, but it's refreshing to see somebody bring that type of attitude to the court. You know, that gritty attitude, man, that no nonsense attitude. It embodies what the whole Detroit is about. There's a lot of connections with Dallas and Detroit right now on the team.
Yeah.
We just want to say we appreciate you. We
Yes,
appreciate
sir. Appreciate y'all. There's more to come, though. Y'all know we're not done yet. We just getting started.
Man, don't say that, bro. Don't say that. You already know, but that's the kind of stuff we love to hear because, like, Pistons, like, even in the history, man, they always had, like, title runs, championship runs. It wasn't a flash in the pan, you know what I'm saying? Like, one season and then gone with the win. Like, it was always, like, Eastern Conference Finals trying to push for the finals, like, you know, consistently just contending. So to hear that, bro, music to our ears. They're going crazy in the chat, by the way. So
Yes,
you
sir.
already getting the love.
Yes, sir. What up, Chad? I just wanted to come say what's up to y'all. That's all.
Hey, man, y'all drop some fire emojis, man. Drop some skeletons for the bad boys. Drop whatever for Ryan, man. Giving us a little bit of his time, popping on with the fam. Y'all make sure y'all drop him some love, man, for sure. So appreciate you for coming on, Ryan, for sure. So let's keep going, man. Let's keep talking about, you know, things that really involve things that you do, Charles, for not just Ron, but for other NBA players. Let's go back to June 26th. 2024 draft night.
Okay.
Talk about that for a second, right? So I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't think Trajan was gonna go with Ryan, because like we always talk about having spacers. We didn't have a lot of spacing here. You know, before the season, we did not have shooters at all, and that really made it difficult for guys like Cade to be able to work. So and Jaden to be able to work. So I thought he might go in the direction of like a Don Connect or you know somebody like Ron's teammate Modest, who I think Ron's a better player, but that's just my opinion. But for you guys, though, what was the sentiment when the Pistons did take him at 5? Like, were y'all expecting him to go at 5? Expecting him to go higher or lower? Like, what were y'all thinking?
It was a lot going on that night. I don't know if y'all have the opportunity to be in the draft room or like in that building during draft night, but it seems like it's a lot going on. It's a lot of things moving at one time. So we were like, when you first walk in the building, I'm asking my question, like, where you think he's going? Talking to agents, talking to just people that may know something.
Right.
We hear he won't go below this, but I'm like, I heard the number that was like 19 or something.
Whoa.
Like, damn. Because what pick did the Lakers have at 7? Was that 17?
I think it was 16 or 17.
16, 17. It was something. It was something like right in that area. I'm like, damn, that's kind of low.
Yeah.
And but I ended up talking to another trainer that I know very well, and he told me what he was hearing. It was higher, but it was still kind of low. It was probably like 9, 10, 11, something like that. But I was like, man, something got to move. Like somebody got to make a trade or something. I'm thinking the worst, like not the worst, but like all the scenarios.
Yeah.
But didn't draft end up happening. We had no clue that he was going to Detroit. I mean, honestly, we thought from that in the building, we thought Detroit was going to trade the pick. To who? I don't know. We thought I think it was Memphis or somebody we thought they were going to trade with, but we weren't sure. Yeah. So when I'm not at the table too, by the way, his family's at the table, but from what Mom told me, they had having a conversation right after the number 4 pick. And Mom is sitting there, she was like, you about to go to Detroit as a joke. And they're like, nah, I'm not going to Detroit. Right. And it was like, with the 5th pick, Ron Holland was like, oh shit. It was one of those, like, it was surprising. It was surprising because Detroit picked him, and like you said, it wasn't per se the fit. So we didn't know like what to expect. Right. But now looking at it, it was the perfect fit. He was like the puzzle piece that you could just, whatever team you have in Detroit, he can just fit right in because of the culture, because of the type of toughness and the grit he brings. Exactly. He embodies everything about Detroit. So it was a perfect fit for him.
Go ahead, King.
Just a quick cookie before we go to the next topic. Coming to a team in Detroit. When you heard Detroit and you think about where Detroit just came from last season, 14-win season, they call Ron's name. He's coming to Detroit. Fast forward to today. Do you look at that and say, wow, look how much this team turned around? You know, how much not only, players like Ron himself impacted that, but to see a team turn around that quickly and be able to move forward. And now everything is on the up and up to where we're looking for them to be a perennial playoff team and a soon competitor for NBA Finals. What was your thoughts that night compared to now?
That night is like, oh shit, he's going to Detroit. Like, but to be completely honest, because you know what Detroit just came from. You know how Detroit had the number 5 pick.
Right.
That's in all honesty. But days later, like probably a week or so later, because y'all know just as well as I do, Detroit didn't have a coach that night.
Right.
And Trajan had got hired the night before or something like something wild, like a week before, something like that. So it was like, okay, you got to kind of let the pieces fall now. But once the pieces started to fall and Trajan brought in JB, and you can ask Ron, I broke down the roster, not the roster, but the schedule from last year. I looked at all of the scores. I'm like, bro, y'all won 24 or 14 games, whatever it was. Y'all wasn't a 14 game.
Right.
Because I like I said, I went through probably 10 to 15 games. They lost by 10 points or less or 9 points or less. Right.
100%.
So I was telling him, I'm like, y'all have a chance to be good because he's bringing in pieces for the guy, which is K. He's bringing in pieces like Tobias, like Tim, like Beasley that can do a job. I'm like, bro, I said, this is gonna sound crazy. I said, y'all gonna have to win a lot of games in the late times. So y'all have a lot of close games.
Yeah,
y'all gonna have a chance to be good this year. So you gotta, and I'm giving him that rookie talk. You might play, you might not play. Like I'm giving him all at one spiel. I'm like, bro, y'all only lost. Y'all lost like 15 games within the points of 9, and then if you go to like the 15 point, it's like a little bit more of those are winnable games. You might have, you know what I'm saying? So he's breaking it down. I'm like, bro, y'all might have a chance to win 48. Now I put out a tweet. I honestly put out a tweet. I said I got Detroit winning 35 games this year, and I shortcutted y'all. I apologize,
bro. No.
35 from 14 was like a huge jump,
bro. Man, I wish you could have been here like August, September of last year, and just could have heard how many people was like, man, if we get 25, that's a win.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what?
Just like
you can't define success by one bad season. You know what I'm saying? You can't define it by 14 games. And so people was calling me crazy, bro, because I said 35. And we talked about this for months. And now we had the same number. King said 40. And I thought he was like, I'm with you, bro, but I don't know. That's kind of deep that's kind of on the deep end. But they surpassed both of those. Insane. Go ahead, King. Go ahead, bro.
No, this is what I was gonna say. I put that tweet out, man. I mean, before the season even started, 40 games. Did. You know, I know what type of coach Bickerstaff is. I watched Cleveland closely, and he was exactly what the Pistons needed. When you got a young team like that, and just like you said yourself, a team where they're losing games by 3-5 points, learning how to close out games. Bickerstaff was the perfect coach to bring that identity and what the Pistons needed to start learning how to get over the top. You know, what they did in the draft and free agency was special. It was important, man. And the reason why I posed that question to you is because I know as a trainer, especially having that relationship with Ron, it's almost like on draft night, you almost feel like a parent almost. It's almost like this is my child I raised. You know what I'm saying? So you hearing these crazy numbers like 19 and this type of stuff, and it kind of hit different. So
no, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy, bro. Like, I wish I know I said it already, but I wish you could have been here last year because people thought we were losing our minds, bro. But
nah, it was. And I'm gonna be honest, because I didn't watch a lot of games, but I knew K and I knew Ash, and so I peeped in on a lot of them. And then I seen the K. I remember y'all remember the interview with K. Like, we're not 14 wins bad. Like, we're not that bad. And people thought he was like kind of tweaking. but in all honesty, y'all weren't 14 wins bad. Like it was losing games late. And to be honest, it was still you seen a little bit of it this year, but you seen a huge jump in how they handle games late because of the vets that they brought in. Because you can go to Tobias Harris, because you got a Malik Beasley, because you got a Tim Hardaway that can kind of calm everybody down and like you know what I'm saying, can settle everybody in, and we can get Cade the ball when we need to. He can make a shot or he can make a play whenever we need to.
100%, bro. 100%. It felt like it was just a lot of deja vu late in games. You know what I'm saying? Like they would play well
in the beginning
for the first 40 to 44 minutes, but then late in the game, and then we get tight. It would kind of feel like the confidence just wasn't there because they didn't have, like you said, the vets around to kind of pull guys together. We saw them do that all year long. Hey, just chill out. Unfortunately, when Jaden got hurt, Tobias coming over. Hey, we good. You know, our boy is out, but we still got a game to finish, and they won the game. You know what I mean? So like, just having that presence there, like you said, bro, was so important. Go ahead, King.
No. Like I said, I totally agree with that, man. The veterans pulled together. They, like I said, when you have guys like Tobias Harris grabbing the young guys on the team, say, hey, we finna go get suited for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Getting them ready mentally for the playoffs. This is all business. And then when you look at a player and Ron himself, you know, who we, didn't get as many minutes that we probably would love as fans during the playoffs, but to have that experience and sit there and watch that and see what it actually takes in that grind in the playoffs, man, because we played New York probably the best right now out of all the teams they faced so far. So that experience is going to be huge for him. I can't wait to see him next year.
So, like, talking about Ryan, I'm not going to lie, bro. I was really impressed with, we talked about it already a little bit, but I was really impressed about what he showed us. Just because he was a lot more polished than I thought he was going to be, just coming, you know what I mean, coming into the league. And I knew we could play. I knew we could hoop. But the IQ part and the feel for the game was just ahead of schedule to me for a first-year guy. I mean, like, does he have room for improvement? Of course. You know, all these guys do. But what stood out to me was that, and we always talk about this on the show, he always found a way to be impactful, to make an impact. You know what I mean? When his shot not falling, don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't always see that from young guys. Like sometimes a lot of young guys, they got to see one go in, or they got to have a basketball in their hands and make a play to get into that rhythm. But Ron's impact goes beyond that. And that was what really stood out to me right away when I watched him play, for sure.
You know what? I agree with that. It's like I said, you look at it from the beginning of the season. Ron coming in, you seen him. He was, no nonsense player. Whether he had to handle things himself or whether it was a teammate getting into a spat, he stepped up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? Out of a rookie, you don't really see that too often. But then, a quick cookie for you guys in the comments before the show, I asked a question, and Charles was telling us that he has a background with also a guy in Marcus Smart, which makes a lot of sense when you look at Ron Holland and his playing style. So if a lot of us, we've been wondering, like, where did Ron get this defensive prowess from, this toughness and everything else? Bingo. You have it right here sitting on our show. Yeah,
so talk about it, bro. You had some stories, or at least one or two stories you wanted to share regarding Marcus Smart and some other guys.
I got a few. I can say a whole lot, but
come on.
So the first one is that me and Marcus, like I said, we played together in high school. I told y'all before the pod started. We played AAU together in high school. And he was the same way, feisty. I mean, you go back and watch him. Feisty. He starts stuff. He finished stuff. He's gonna make an impact on the game, whether he's scoring. He's the same guy. He's just, obviously in high school, he had a little bit more responsibility with the basketball and making plays for us and other people. But he was a splitting image as far as mentality wise as Ron. Like I used to tell him before he got drafted, I'm like, bro, you remind me so much of Marcus, bro. Like it's ridiculous. And even more crazy, I can tell y'all this. Even more crazy. One day we leaving a workout, and I'm leaving the gym. And Marcus called me. Marcus hardly ever calls me. But he called me one day. I'm in the car. I'm like, what's up, bro? I'm like, what's good? Leaving the gym, yada, yada. He like, man, I think one of them kids you work out is my cousin. I'm like, who? He said, Holland. He couldn't get the name right. I'm like, nah. It's only one that I could think of that might be your cousin. I'm like, Ron? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I think that's him. And then after that, it was kind of like, all right, I don't think too much of it. Fast forward to this year, they played each other in Memphis.
That's crazy.
Marcus hit a couple like grenades on him, like got the ball, and Marcus had to score.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! Ron ended up calling me after the game, like, man, he was giving me this, he telling me this, like while he was playing, but bringing me up, like, you know who I taught him this, like he's just talking noise. But they're actually related. I didn't know that.
That's wild.
Maybe like 2 years ago.
Small
they
world,
are actually related, and I think Ron ended up finding out this year when Ron was when Marcus came down when he was in Washington.
Man,
so they ended up finding out and linking up this year.
Small world, man. Ain't nothing like genes. Ain't nothing like genetics, man. That's wild. Sheesh. It does make sense though. When you watch them play, it does make sense, bro. They do have a lot of the same characteristics.
They both play with a lot of fire. A lot of fire. But that's something that you want on your team.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So speaking of genes or speaking of teaching, sometimes when sensei teaches the student takes a step forward. You know, I think Ron had a message for you. If you can pull that up.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into that, man. So I was gonna say this for the end of the show, but since we already kind of getting into it, I might as well get into it now. So, Charles, I have a special delivery for you.
Okay.
A message from Ron. So
I can.
You probably figure out what it was. So a couple days ago, when I made my team made the story about our show, he hit me in the DM and he was like, "Hey man, make sure you send this message to him." And I quote, he said, "Tell him I said he can't fucking guard me."
I knew he was going.
So I'm gonna go out on a flimsy limb, and say that you've heard that before.
Oh, of course. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this. One, I've probably guarded him the most from the time he was 14 to right now. I've guarded him the most. So I know exactly what he can and can't do. And then two, he didn't tell y'all this. I had to stop playing him ones when he was in high school.
Oh, no, he didn't tell me that part.
We was in the workout. I was in that mid post, hit him with one. He was like, oh, kind of stopped. He was like, man, we done. That was it. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, after that, it's been tough on me because he really been like locked in the gym. Yeah. So it's like when I see him now, it's like, I hope you in shape. And he'll catch me out guard. We put the ones at the end of the workout or something.
What's the height difference between y'all? Because we're all about 6'6", right?
I'm only 6'1", 6'2".
You 6? Okay. So if you needed to in the game of ones to like 5, could you get them right now?
Today?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Okay. Ron, you heard him, Ron.
You're not gonna get me on camera saying no. I'm gonna lose. We are not doing that. Not today. We're not doing that. And like I said, the other one is I know his game better than anybody. So if it's time for me to strap up, it might take a long time. Okay. It might take a long because I'm gonna be fouling. We're gonna have to check up a couple.
Of course. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think
I'm gonna make sure I win. I might Magic Johnson at the Rico runs.
Hey,
look, at some point in time, I ain't saying today or tomorrow. I think that might need to happen. You know what I mean? Just a quick,
It's gonna happen.
Okay. Y'all heard it here.
That's why I knew what you were gonna say because he called me the other day before I flew out here. He was like, "I hope you getting in shape because you know it's about that time." I'm like, "What?"
Boy, what that smoke?
I'm like, "What you talking about?" Like, well, it's off season. You gotta play ones.
Right.
Cause we really go at it when we play ones.
Okay. Y'all heard in chat. At some point, hopefully, maybe we can get some footage or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or at least get a
no cameras.
Oh, no camera.
Okay. Yeah. Right. That's right.
We're gonna get it right.
We're gonna do it Bruce Lee style.
I'm gonna just shoot you a text that I got him.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. We'll look for that for sure. All right. So let's go ahead. King, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying. Speaking of smoke, and smoke, we see where he gets a lot of this from. You know what I'm saying? We also had an opportunity to meet Pops, man. Ron Holland Sr., our dude. Man, you would have thought he was a Detroiter, the first time we met him. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of connection with Dallas and Detroit. The attitudes, the swagger, that not only Ron brings, but you can see it in Pops too, man. We just appreciate who he is, you know what I'm saying, and who you are and what y'all bring to the table, man. Because, like I said, it's a breath of fresh air. We haven't had a squad like this in a long time here in Detroit. All of our teams right now are pretty much gritty, you know, and that gritty attitude, man. Ron's gonna be here for a long time. He's gonna be a champion.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You see the puzzle pieces coming, man. It's all cyclical. It's all cyclical, and you can see it coming again.
No, for sure.
It sticks out for sure. Real quick, man. In addition to, I'm not sure if you know, but in addition to creating content around the team and things like that, I am also a musician. A few months back, I dropped a Pistons anthem called Dog Pound. Shout out to JD and Zay. And I've seen Ryan, like, during the season, throughout the season, kind of refer to himself as Dog Pound Jr., which I thought was hilarious.
I think Stu gave him that nickname.
Oh, Stu gave him the Dog Pound Jr.? Oh, okay. Shout out to Zay. That does make sense, though. That does make sense. So, yeah, definitely did that. So, like, from your point of view, bro, like, what's it been like seeing Ryan embraced by his teammates so quickly? You know what I mean? Like, even though he's one of the newest additions to the team, the way they embraced him from day one, you saw it. It was just a chemistry that they had. Like, what was, from your point of view, what was it like kind of seeing that, how they kind of embraced him like that?
I thought it was amazing, honestly, because I you know, the type of player that he is, sometimes you might rub people the wrong way, but if you come in ready to work,
right,
that kind of negates everything that you do on the floor, because what you do on the floor is solely to win. And they seen he comes in ready to work. He comes in, work on the shot. He comes in, watch his film. He'll call and ask questions to the vets. Like, I've been in the room with him. He'll say, what you think I need to do if I need to do this? I'm like, you better call Tobias or call one of the vets. And he'll call him like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing this and that. What you think? And they'll tell you. So it's like little stuff like that, just being appreciative of the people in front of you, but also doing the work too. So I think he did both of those at an amazing rate this year. But like I said, staying true to the vets and doing things that's asked of him, and then also asking questions when you need to ask questions. And then, like I said, still staying down and doing the work. Whereas in the season, it was sometimes they like, hey, because Ron can't be in the gym. Like, we need to get him out the gym, get him off his feet. You know what I'm saying? He's playing a lot of minutes, but he wants to be in the gym and working on his craft. So I think that's why he's been everybody kind of took heed to him early, like real early, from players to staff.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I just love his competitive fire, bro. I know he had mentioned before. I think he was in his uncle's family. They're real competitive, like extremely competitive, and that's kind of like from day one on the basketball court. That's what he saw, and that's what he knew as basketball. So it just makes sense that he carries that with him on the sleeve. Okay,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, I how do I say this, man?
Talk about it.
As a trainer, right? When is that point where you said, I think we got something special here, where I just know he can make it to the league, where you know, you just seen that one thing that just said, man, I think this is it. I think he can really go to the league and do something.
His junior year, going into his like that junior summer, going into his senior year, like before we played games, me and him honestly had like a real heart-to-heart conversation. It was stuff going on off the court, but mixed in with some on the court stuff, like how can I say, some like bad days in the gym. Yeah. Because of some off-court stuff, kind of like getting clouded in high school, and me and him have really had a hard time. I'm like, bro, what do you want to do with it? Like, is it like a thing that you just want to like just having fun with, or is it something you want to change your life with, or like, what is it? And I'm very transparent with not only him, but every kid that I encounter. Like, don't tell me the thing that the textbook, I want to be the best ever. Like, don't tell me the generic. Don't give me that answer. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear your real answer. Like, shit, I want to be one of the best defenders in the NBA. I want to be this. Okay. Like, well, if that's the goal, then these are the steps that we have to take to get to that goal. Right. And it started, like I said, that summer where, and I'm not saying he wasn't working, but the work started to change. You could see the shift in his game. And I was getting fun, like, bro, what you doing with Ron? I don't know what you're doing with him, but you can start to see him level off and kind of find himself in because he played 4 or 5 a lot. I don't know if y'all know that. He played 4 and 5 a lot.
The 5, okay.
Pretty much into his senior year. But he played out on the wing a little bit. But to where he was the ball in his hands, he's making decisions his senior year, that's when he kind of like skyrocketed. Until we can see those NBA like movements, if that's a thing. Like we can see he's a strong straight line driver. We can see he can play above the rim. We can see he can guard. Now because he's started at the 4 or 5, we can see he can guard the 4 or 5, and then he can come out and guard the 1, 2, 3 if he can be as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like putting those little things together, and obviously we had a hell of a coaching staff, and we all just kind of said like, bro, we got something over here. Like not only with Ron, but some other players, but namely Ron, like he does this at a very, very high level. He doesn't shoot it well, like doesn't shoot. At that time he really shot it well. He had amazing touch around the rim, finished well through contact, shot free throws. He like did everything at a pace where he was like, okay, he got flaws in his game, but it's obviously things that you can build on and create from the ground level and build it up. But like I said, that junior year, going into the senior year, it was like, all right, let's lock in. We 2 days plus practice, plus film, plus rehab, like all of the little things. Yeah. And that's when it was like, let's go.
That's dope, man. I appreciate you mentioning him playing the 4 and 5, because that was one of the things we noticed is that he's a good rebounder already, especially at that position. And one thing I love, King knows, I love versatile guys who can grab and go. And what I mean by that is being able to board and push. You know what I mean? Just not having to find an outlet. And we got a lot of guys who can do that between Cade, Jaden when he's healthy, Ron, Asar. We got a lot of guys who can do that. So it makes sense that he crashes a glass the way he does and sticks his nose in there and gets on the boards, because that's what he's used to doing. Right. And also the versatility piece too you mentioned, as far as him being able to also play the 1 through the 3. It was a lot of times I would see him guarding speedy guards on the perimeter, like Darius Garland, Pritchard, you know, all those guys, Trae Young. And it's like he's staying in front, even though he's got a huge height advantage. You know what I mean? Like the Jaden McDaniels type of guy who's tall but can still shift and move. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that stood out.
94 feet.
You said what?
And don't mind picking up 94 feet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, at all. And that's tiring after a while, mentally and physically on your body. So yeah, I love it, man. He's very, very versatile. And that's why he's been so impactful already, in my opinion. Just he can do a lot of different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, speaking on the transition to the city, you guys only got to see a smidget of how the city, they'll come and show out for the team. But just that transition to the city, I know Detroiters, they show a lot of love to the athletes, but you personally, have you had a smooth transition, being here in Detroit, going back and forth? Do you feel any love from the fans here in Detroit, and in Michigan in general?
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not gonna sit here in front. I don't get like fan love like the players do, but I do get recognized from guys like
Go ahead.
They gonna know your face now.
I do get like recognition from guys like you that see me walking around in the building. Like I'm in the shadows for the most part. You know what I mean? So when I've been to a handful of games, I don't know if y'all ever seen me at a game, but I've been to probably 20 home games this year.
Yep.
But I come in the game, I sit in my spot, and I'm out the door. I shake hands with who I know, and then I'm faded to the background. So, but I do get a DM from a Deuce every now and then. Saying I like doing around.
Real ones know.
It's been cool, man. It's been cool, honestly. I think more of my job is not necessarily having a relationship on the phone with front office, but being able to say, hey, I'm in town. If there's anything that I can do while I'm here with Ron, or when he's in Dallas in the summer, if there's anything that you need me echoing to him in our workouts, that's kind of like the part I play when I'm in town. I'm watching film with him. I may talk to J Jack for 40 minutes, not 30, 40 minutes, but for a good little minute just to talk about, just an update with Ron, what he's doing well, what he's improving on, what he needs to work on. JR, I talk to JR Holden a lot. I shoot him a text like, hey, bro, I'm in town. If anything I need to do, I'm coming into that's more so my role, just make sure those guys just know I'm here to help Ron and them with Ron as much as I can.
You was at the facility today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, getting work in for sure. Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. I could definitely get the vibe that you super low key with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got like the move in silence. And yeah, I like it. I ain't mad at it. I wanted to transition to just as far as all this these Texans that's been coming over to Detroit, man.
Come on, the Dallas
invading
Pistons,
the Dallas Pistons. I'm dead. It's quiet, bro. But yeah, you got
Ron, Dink.
Yes.
There might have been one more before this year, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm sure it's those 4.
Y'all, he just put me. I didn't realize my dog Dennis Jenkins was also from Texas, and y'all know I've been talking about him all year since summer league. So that's super dope. So that's 4 players that's currently from that area. So I know Kate and Ryan, they have history, you know, playing the open runs and things like that. We've talked about that. We've shown a few different graphics about that. You know, Ryan was saying at draft night he knows Kate, done open runs with him when he was a freshman, when Kate was a senior, so they got a good connection. And then you see guys here, the pictures here with Ryan and Cade and AB, Ashton, and Jalen. Shout out to them boys. But yeah, so like just kind of talk about that connection between them just being in the same area. Have you noticed like a symmetry between those guys, like just having that hometown connection and that's just that comfortability, knowing that they naturally have some things in common just being from the same area?
I think Deuce kind of pulled him in. Cade. I call him Deuce, but I think Cade kind of brought him in like right after draft night. Like it was like, oh, we are Ron, because like you said, from prior history, playing together in high school, open runs and working out, stuff like that. I think he kind of just took him under his wing like early, but prior to weird connection. Like I said, I mentioned this before the pod. Ashley and Kay used to work out early. I can't remember what year Kay graduated, but this was before COVID, before he went to Mount Vernon.
Okay.
So Kate and Ashley used to do a lot of their workouts in the Duncanville area, the same place where Ron went to high school, but they used to do the workouts at the middle school.
Crazy.
Fast forward, they working out there for a long time. And then fast forward, Ron's sophomore year, I get hired at the middle school where they used to work out.
That's wild.
Like I said, I'm the head coach at the middle school and head of player development at the high school. So I'm doing most of my workouts I end up doing most of my workouts with Ron in that same gym that Kate and Ashton end up doing their workouts. And then fast forward to 2025, and they both playing with the Dallas Pistons.
I was like, hold on, what's
that? My bad.
Man, so the chat, we don't have a lot of Cowboys fans here, so I don't know how the chat is going to take to the Dallas Pistons thing, but we're going to let it rock tonight.
I'm not a Cowboys fan at all.
Okay,
I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm not a football fan. I don't even want to put that out there.
Okay, all right, bet. Yeah, we Gucci then. We Gucci. Because we do not have a lot of Cowboys fans here, so we good.
Trust me, I know.
Man, Ken, you had an offseason question, didn't you?
Yeah, during the offseason, you know, we just had a nice lengthy season. Is there something that you would point out and say, you know, this is probably where, I mean, I know you want to give all the keys or whatever, but where we can go forward and improve this summer when it comes to Ron and his game and getting prepared for next season?
Obviously, his shooting, that's not like a secret, but it's something that was like it got better gradually through the season. I know if you look at the early part of the season, he was shooting like probably high 20s. And as you if you cut that part out and go from January to the end of the season, it's a lot better. So it's something that gradually gets better. It's not like an overnight thing. So continue to get better at that. And then outside of that, ball handling and playmaking, not like so we can be on the floor at certain times in the game, being like you said, being the floor spacer, but also if I do catch this ball and it's not time to shoot, can I put it on the floor and make the right play? So being able to slow the game down for him mentally is going to be like a lot of film watching. But I think the two main things is just a lot of basic ball handling, keeping the handle tight and shooting. He's keeping it pretty plain. I think with Ron, less is more. So they don't want to throw a whole lot at him in one summer. So we can break down 2 or 3 things and kind of gradually get him better and not just say, hey, we getting better at dribble, passing, shooting, guarding, this, and that. And we come back and we didn't get better at anything. I just keep it 1 or 2 things this summer, 1 or 2 things next summer, and then we gradually go. And like I said, for this summer to keep him on the floor, he's going into his second year. The one thing we can work on every day is just shooting the basketball. And I think I talked to Fred Vincent today. He's doing an amazing job with what he's doing with
Okay.
And I just want to echo whatever he's doing with him. That's what my workouts will look like. And obviously we'll add a little bit more of a like basketball game simulation stuff that we can kind of moves we want to add in transition. We want to play better in transition. He's already fast in transition, but that's one thing I can see is have him slow down in transition when need to, not just running 100 miles an hour. Sometimes it works, but sometimes we need to kind of change pace, change speed in transition. I think that will be the other thing. So shooting and playing with more pace in transition, not necessarily 100 miles an hour, but playing with going, I would say about 60.
Right. Yeah.
With him, he can probably get away with going by 75 and the 60. But if we can slow him down a little bit in transition, that way he has less. He's just a rookie. If you have less plays like that, and I think, like you said, we just slowly build from there.
It's funny because with the shooting thing is interesting to me because like it did gradually get better. It seemed like the biggest thing for me was just reps. Yeah, just getting enough opportunity in that offense, because like, but the thing that stood out to me the more than anything was even when the shot wasn't falling, his confidence never wavered. It was games when he was like 0 for 4 and I'm like, hold on, Ryan, hold on. But I love that though because it's like he's not afraid. Yeah, he you know what I'm saying? He's gonna make. Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry, but he's fearless.
Yeah.
I can say this because this happened 2 years ago now. He was in the G League. I remember he had 30. He had 30 and didn't shoot. No, he had 30. He might have shot like 10 threes. Like, I'm shooting 10. No, he had 30 one game and didn't shoot any threes.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
He called me. He was like, next game, I'm shooting 10 threes. I'm like, why the hell would you do that? He's like, bro, I just had 30, no threes. They're going to let me shoot threes.
Right.
Nah, you just go get the 30 and we'll worry about how many threes you shoot later.
Exactly.
But just showing you his relentlessness, he went out there and shot like 9 threes for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he like I tell him all the time, like if you got the confidence to take it, you're gonna end up making it.
Exactly.
As long as you got the confidence, we'll work on the mechanics, we'll work on all the things we need to work on to make sure it's going in, but don't lose the confidence and don't take it. If you stop 100%. Taking it, you're gonna lose the confidence, you won't make it.
Exactly.
If you take it, you can make it.
I was just about to say, if you could take it, you can make it. So once everything does catch up, we know the confidence is not going to be lacking. And we know that's half the battle. So he's going to make guys account for him regardless. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's going to spread the floor regardless. And once the shot catches up and the percentage right, he's going to be just fine. For sure. You mentioned also the ball handling, bro. Like he handles the ball better than I thought too. It's times when he'd be in the... Go ahead.
My bad. I'm nitpicking, but I see spots where I'm like, bro, what we doing?
I feel it.
100%. He got to Dallas on the 4th, so about 11 days ago.
Okay.
The first thing we did, we got an Airbnb. First thing we did, I pulled my laptop out. We on Synergy for like 2 hours.
Okay.
We watched all his buckets, but we watched them and like nitpicking it. Like, bro, what we doing? Like, you could have did this right here. Why are you moving so fast right here? Mm-hmm. Why are you doing this? Like, so it was one of those things. It's like, and we noticed small things like. I'm not gonna say it on the pod, but it's small things while he's handling the ball. It's like, all right, we need to make sure placement is here or this is here. When we do this move is here, it's tighter. Is you know what I'm saying? When I'm moving faster, I gotta be able to move my body. Just like it's little stuff like that that we can sit and film and watch. You know what I mean? So the person that might not know him as well as I do, they like, oh shit, he does handle the ball is a little bit better than I thought. But I'm looking at it like. Shit, man, we got some work to do. You know,
as you should. I feel it.
That's my job, though. You
exactly.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fire, man. That's fire. Because there was a few times. Once again, he's on a break and he got wings on both sides of him. And I'm like, no, Ryan, no. Oh, Ryan. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He should have had a game winner. That game against the Hornets. That turnover. That was the game winner, in my opinion. What happened.
Oh shit! 4 times before he got to the back. oh shit!
Yeah. Exactly, bro. Exactly, man. Yeah, that's good stuff, bro. We appreciate you sharing that, man. Anything else, Ken, you wanted to hit on before we wrap it up? I don't want to take too much of his time tonight.
Oh no, that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, that just analyzing Ron ourselves for the season, we always said, looking at the shot mechanics, everything looks good. He just has to
Yeah.
take those shots. You know, we love when players take shots like that confidently. And eventually it's going to fall. Every player didn't walk in the league with a 3-point. You had players in the past, Jason Kidd, Tony Parker, even Marcus Smart, you know what I'm saying, walking into the league. He wasn't the greatest shooter, man. You just have to take reps, man, and have that confidence to keep doing it. And Ronda's going to be fine, man. His mechanics look great.
For sure. For sure. We got one quick question for you. For William McGregor, he says, question for Charles. Do you work with Ron's mental game or do you stick to just physical work? We talked about it a little bit, but you can kind of just elaborate however far you went on that.
I'm going to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
With him, is more mental game than anything, especially right now in the NBA season. It's hard for me to get to him on the floor and during the NBA season, and I don't live in Detroit. So with him, sometimes I get phone calls before they get on the plane because of frustration or because of XYZ. And he's trying to figure out how to get through it. I'm like, bro, you're just a rookie. Most of it is you're just a rookie. You know what I mean? But even from, like I said, from high school, the off the court thing is honestly, me being able to have conversations with him off the court kept me in a position to be his trainer on. So like anybody could have took care of the basketball part of it, and that's just me being honest because we all know the same things. It's just a matter of, do you have a relationship with the guy that you're telling for him to receive what you're doing?
Right.
So me being part of like that coaching staff obviously allowed me to be more intimate with him off the floor, talking about games and what we can get better at, stuff like that. But also it was an avenue for him to be a person that he can call when he needs anything. You know what I mean? Whether it was basketball or not. Because the
trust was there. Yeah.
Exactly. So to answer the question, more so now than anything is more of the mental game. But all of that started from high school, like I said before, being able to say, coach tripping, or I didn't understand what he was saying. I'm like, bro, and go back and break the game down.
Yeah.
And when it's off the court stuff, I'm like, man, my girl or my mom or my dad or my dog, whatever the case may be, it's like, all right, these are the, and I break it down to him like this. I'm gonna give you two answers. I'm gonna give you the answer you want to hear, then I'm gonna give you the answer that you need to hear.
Right.
You know what I mean? And more times than not, I'm gonna say, hey, all right, and you doing my real answer. He'll look at me like, yeah. And then I give him the real answer, and he'll be like more receptive to the real talk that we giving. You know what I mean? So
that's dope.
Yes. To answer that question, yes, more mentally, but I'll do a lot of the physical on-court work as well.
So, chat, as you guys can see, a lot more goes into the development just being on the basketball court. You know, a lot of it is just the mental part and just developing a relationship. And that's one thing that Charles has done. He's developed a relationship, not just with Ryan, but with all these guys, Anthony Blacks of the world, guys who are having successful NBA careers and on their way to having more successful NBA careers in the future. It always starts with the mental part. So I want to shout you off for that for sure, bro, because that you can really tell a lot about a person by what players say about them when it comes to off the court. You know what I mean? So I really can appreciate that about you. So appreciate you sharing that story as well, man. So listen, man, we appreciate your time, bro, for pulling up with us tonight, man, and joining the show. For those who are just becoming acquainted with you for the first time, bro, where can we find you on social media and keep up with what you're doing?
I'm on Instagram for the most part at WWOT_C-Hill. That's the acronym for we worked on that. That's the name of my training company. We worked on that _C-Hill. It was like a little jab at my head coach. I work for him now still. Again, another short story, my bad.
Yeah, no, come on, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Ron will be in practice doing some BS that we done worked on in the gym. And the head coach PV, he's like, Ron, what we doing? He's like, what? I worked on that with Hill. I'm like, yeah, coach, we worked on that. So it was like more like we worked on that chill. Like we've done it before, so just chill out.
Right.
But that's the Instagram name, WWOT_chill.
Okay, definitely, man. So y'all heard the man. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him, check him out, and see what he's doing, man. See how he's giving back to the game, because that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. So we appreciate you, bro. Make sure you guys go follow him. We'll put a link in the description for all his socials as well, so you guys can just click and go follow. But that, guys, is a wrap for this episode of the King and Do Show. And until next time, y'all know what it is, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think of just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of K9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that chop, you must want this way. If the dog palm, mess around, find out, If the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that.